I just wanted to quickly just introduce myself. I'm Maria. I lead these classes once a month. I also lead one-on-one sessions, and I'll share with you a little bit more of what I'm doing towards the end of the class. But I did want to let you know that I've been studying the Course in Miracles, which is this metaphysical book that was channeled by Helen Schuckman, and Jesus is expressing its love through the book and teaching us that we've never left the mind of our Father, which is really, really good news. That being said, I began my journey as a course student in 1990, and I would begin to be a course student till this day. It's a book that I've explored many times. It's a book that I've thrown out the window. It's a book that I have forgotten about, especially when I was in my first marriage. I totally forgot about the book and its teachings. But it's definitely been in my life, and it's been a journey. In 2013, I had a mystical experience, an opening up, a self-realization. This is when I began to be a teacher of God, and I began to teach the Course in Miracles full-time, leaving my career as an actor and television host and coming more into being and sharing about the Course on YouTube, etc., which brought me into writing a book called Live Your Happy, which I highly recommend because it's based on the Course in Miracles, but really helps to understand its principles. And then now I've began to really immerse myself in these monthly classes to really educate other students and other teachers on the teachings of the Course in Miracles and the understanding of how to live it in your daily life. So that's my passion, and that's my purpose, is to be a living representation at work of the self-realization, sharing my stories, sharing my insights, sharing from other things that I've learned to help in the oneness, in the wholeness of waking up, of really waking up to what the Course in Miracles calls the happy dream, which is actually an elevated state of mind, of being in the world. And I'm sure you heard this before, but understanding that you are not of this, all right? That you are not of this world, even though it appears that you're in this world. It's not what you are. So the key to undoing the egoic thought system and the key to begin to shift from fear to love is to begin to have a deep understanding that you are responsible for your experience. Okay, that's the first thing. That's Course 101. You're responsible for your experience. Okay, I didn't say that you're responsible for the car accident. Okay, I didn't say that you're responsible for, whatever it might be. Okay, I'm not saying that you're responsible. I'm saying you are responsible, the Course is saying, for how you're going to experience it, through fear or through love. And that is your choice. You get to make that choice. That's why we're so powerful. The Course says we are the decision makers. We decide fear or love. What does that look like? What is fear? Fear is the opposite of love. Love is the Holy Spirit. Ego is the fear. Right? So when we're in a loving state of mind, which is actually our true nature, the Course is teaching us, we are actually really not these bodies. We are not this self-concept. We're not separated. That's what love is teaching us. So that's what we need to allow the teachings of the Holy Spirit to remind us of what is really real here, love. Then we have the ego dream, which you can tell the duality. This appears to be a world of duality, but it's actually non-dual. Course in Miracles is non-duality, is teaching non-duality, right? But we're living, it appears, into non-duality. So we need to say, okay, you know what? I am willing to start to understand that I'm not separate. I'm willing to start to understand that there's oneness here. I want to begin to understand that I don't need to live in this fear, that I don't need to live in this separation thinking, okay? So what is fear? Fear is the egoic thought system. The Course in Miracles says the ego began when the Son of God forgot to laugh. That's actually a quote from the Course. The ego began when the Son of God forgot to laugh. And the ego was a representation, or came from the thought of somehow we can do it better than God. And poof, the experience of separation. Oh my God, maybe there's something better out there. It's like this erroneous thought, or this thought of doubt and lack of where it's like, and it was such an innocent expression, okay? And it's hard to understand. It was so innocent. It was like, it was just a thought. And then it was very innocently thought. And then the ego's created, boom, right? Separation, limitation. I'm a body, I'm a personality, I'm separate from everything, you know, I'm sinful, I'm guilty, I need to sacrifice. All these concepts come up, right? The good news is the Course is saying that the Holy Spirit is the answer to the egoic thought system. Okay, so the Holy Spirit is our connection to God. The Course teaches us. So Holy Spirit is our connection to God. God has, Course also teaches that God has nothing to do with this world. Amen to that. I need to drink some water. God has nothing to do with this world. Okay, that's why, that's good news, right? Because when you look at the things that appear to happen in this world, you're like, how did God let this happen, right? Could be the thought. So the Course is teaching us God doesn't have anything to do with this world. And the best news is that God does not make this world real for us. It holds us on a high pedestal. This is how I visualize it. Holding my love there, holding my oneness there, loving me so much that I get to play around and be here, Cookie Maria, and I get to believe that I'm real, and I get to do all these things with this understanding that my Father knows that I will choose him. Ultimately, this is why I get to live in this dream in such freedom, and my Father loves me so much that I get to experience this. Doesn't make this real for me, doesn't communicate with me even at this level, because I'm communicating with God through the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit knows that we're dreaming. The Holy Spirit knows that we have chosen to be in the dream and understands the egoic thought system. So what we need to do, my friends, is to begin to have a deep, intimate relationship with the Holy Spirit. Begin to have a relationship, giving it all over consistently to Spirit, giving it all over to love. And we need to do that by beginning to investigate our thoughts, by beginning to understand that just because we're thinking something, just because we're having a thought about something, we have millions and billions of thoughts a day, is to be very mindful that any thought that's giving you lack of peace, any thought that is making you feel like you're separated, any thought that is causing you, even right now as you're watching this, can be transformed and changed. A miracle can happen by you simply questioning it with Spirit. What is really real here, Spirit? What is the truth? I've fallen asleep. I don't know who I am. I can't remember. I have amnesia, Holy Spirit. What is the truth here? What is really real here? Right? So the Course is, the ego saying that we're separate, the ego saying that we're limited, the ego saying that we're a body, the ego saying that we're special, that we're better than so-and-so, or that so-and-so's better than me. The ego is teaching us comparison. The ego's teaching us limitedness. Okay? And the ego's teaching us ultimately how to kill our happy. Because the ego's job is to constantly be distracting us outside with things in form so that we can think and believe that our source of love and our source of completeness comes from outside of ourselves. That is when we decided to separate. But the Holy Spirit holds us, God holds us in high regard, and with the Holy Spirit, we get to remember that this is simply not true. That we're whole, complete right now. It's not easy, right? But the whole goal is to remember that we're perfect, whole, and complete, and to stop the endless search for our happiness and joy and peace outside of ourselves. But it takes something.